In order to understand the Civil War era, it is important to understand the people who were living at the time. We are still the same human beings today as they were then. We still get hungry, tired, cold. We laugh, we cry, we get sleepy. Physiologically, we are the same, but philosophically, there were differences. The Civil War generation had seen no atomic age, had seen no Watergate, had seen no Holocaust. For these people, their worlds were a little bit smaller and narrower, but by that same token, the principles that govern their lives took up more of their moral compass. There's no phone, no internet, no public library, very little knowledge of the world beyond the horizon. You really only know what your parents teach you. You only read what books they have on their shelves. If you're lucky, somebody in your neighborhood might open up a school that you attend for a few months of the year. Maybe you have pages from a spelling book cut and pasted to the yoke of your plow. What are you taught? Love your family, honor your ancestors, work the land. Your world is smaller. There's little concept of different cultures, different value systems. You can't Google the Talmud or the Tao Te Ching or the Quran. What you are taught is what you believe to be true, and it mostly relates to your own life. Some are taught that slavery is right, is biblical, is the way it has always been. There's no room for argument. There's no argument from anybody else in the community about the issue. Others are taught that the Union is supreme, that the United States should never be torn asunder. And the war comes. You, millions of other young people around you, go to war together. Your horizon, which had been so small before, explodes. At first, you fight for what you know, your home, your family, your way of life as you understand it. As the war goes on, those principles become a little murkier, and you find yourself fighting for the people around you. Bravery, duty, and self-sacrifice. The youngest Medal of Honor winner was only 15 years old. As one veteran put it, in our youths, our hearts were touched with fire. When they came home from the war, their worldviews were very different. They had seen much further than their little hometowns, than their farms. For many, the war was a ticket to a new life, a better life, one might say, in which they became more involved in politics, in business, had been granted and had been capable of much more authority than they would have ever been trusted with if they had spent the whole life in peace on the family farm. They went to the Oval Office, they went to Congress, they went to state legislatures. They brought in a gilded age, an age of prosperity that America had never seen before. At the same time, many of them struggled after the war. The sacrifices were immense. Daughters of these folks write about their fathers staring into the fire all night long, sweating as if they are reliving some horrible experience. Why did they do it? It was to ensure what we have today. They recognized at the time that their sacrifices were going to mean something to the future, and they did. So perhaps you yourself want to set out on a new adventure, or maybe you want to ask for help, or maybe you want to ask somebody out. It can be scary. In those times, think of the young people that came before you, what they sacrificed for your happiness, and know that the same strength lives within you.